Okay, so let's go through them. You got Purple Rain,
Yes.
The Mighty Ducks, Grumpy Old Men,
Yep.
Fargo. All those movies have one thing in common. You know what it is. All these movies were shot right here in the state of
Yeah.
Minnesota. And good news for our cinephiles, you have a chance to actually see even more movies coming up next week.
It's going to be an exciting time here. It's the 14th annual Twin Cities Film Festival. It is back. It's bigger and better than ever, bringing more than 140 different screening opportunities with it. Starting just a week from today, moviegoers, you'll have a chance to yet again binge the latest and greatest in local and even international cinema.
It's incredible when you think about it. So to talk more about this exciting event, we got the executive director of the Twin Cities Film Festival, Jaden Sadia. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's the best time of the year for me.
I was going to say, like this
Christmas.
is your Super Bowl. This is Christmas, whatever holiday it is. This is it.
We'll go with the theme. This is my World Series. How's that? It's a 10-day thing, so let's go with that one.
Okay, so can you, for people who are not familiar with this film festival, give us an idea as far as what people can expect.
So you've heard of Sundance, you've heard of Tribeca, you've heard of Toronto. It's the exact same thing. World premieres of films, Minnesota premieres of films from across the country, have 140 films all in total, hybrid format, because obviously because of COVID, we launched our own streaming platform, so consumers will be able to imbibe in amazing stories, all about dramas and comedies and documentaries, and there's something for everybody, including our opening night film, which is The Holdovers, which is a brand new Alexander Payne film with Paul Giamatti, one of my favorite actors of all time, and that's going to kick off our festival on Thursday, the 19th, next week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, speaking of that, we do have a clip, don't we? Let's see if we can play that now, and we'll talk more about it afterwards.
Every year at Barton Academy, students, faculty, and staff depart the campus for a 2-week winter break. But there are always an unfortunate few who have nowhere to go for the holidays. They're known as the Holdovers.
Mr. Hunnam.
Hello, Mary.
I heard you got stuck with babysitting duty this year. How'd you manage that?
You know, he used to be a student, right?
Yeah, that's why he knows how to inflict maximum pain on us. Now, most of the kids dislike you, pretty much hate you. Teachers too. You know that, right?
I find the world a bitter and complicated place, and it seems to feel the same way about me. I think you and I have this in common.
I don't think I've ever had a real family Christmas like this before. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
History is not simply the study of the past, it is an explanation
Of the present. See, when you say it that way and throw in some pornography, it's a lot easier to understand.
No matter what you
What a great clip.
Yeah.
It is a great film. It's about relationships, and a lot of our films this year are centered around relationships, whether it's father and mother, husband, wife, partners, or student and teacher. This is a hardened high school teacher, all about education, and he's got a couple kids who are just not there, so he softens up as he again hangs out with these holdovers for a couple of weeks.
Interesting.
So, a question I got to ask you: is it true 30% of the films shown here actually have a connection to Minnesota?
Absolutely.
How did you make that happen?
It's 33% actually. Ever since year one, we really wanted to focus on Minnesota creators. So we do our diligence to make sure we're going out there and grabbing as much Minnesota content as possible. And we've kind of been at that 30-35% mark, and we're going to continue that into the future, including our closing night film, which is Downtown Owl, which was shot here in St. Paul partially a couple of years ago with Lily Rabe and Ed Harris, and that's a fantastic film. So that's our closing night film. So leading into Minnesota, we're going to close it out. You mentioned Mighty Ducks. You missed Jingle All the Way.
I did miss Jingle All the Way with
Grumpy
Sinbad
Old
and
Man,
right.
so we're going to add Downtown Owl to that mix.
Nice. Okay, so this is all about celebrating the art of cinema, and we know that Terrence Howard will also be awarded or honored here during the whole stretch here of the film festival. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Terrence is one of my favorite actors. He's done a lot of work in independent cinema. And people don't even know, but they know him from Iron Man and Empire and Hustle and Flow. And Hustle and Flow was an indie film, and it got bought. So we're actually honoring Terrence with our Indie Vision Legacy Award. And so he'll be here with his new independent film, Showdown at the Grand. It's just a fun action flick. And then we're going to have a sit-down conversation in the theater in a separate event with Terrence as well. He's so excited to be here.
Let me ask you this. For participants who get the festival pass, What is the festival pass, and what can people expect if they roughly want to go?
Yeah, we're all about accessibility. So if you go to Sundance in Tribeca, if you buy a pass and if you buy a ticket, you still may not be able to get into the movie.
Yeah.
So that said, all of our tickets are $12. A couple of films are $20. That said, we're making our matinees absolutely free for the weekday as well. And passes give you a deeper discount on top of that. So there's a couple different passes, $50, $80, or an all-inclusive $120, but that gets you access to as many films as you possibly want.
That's a deal.
So what is it about Minnesota and our unique film history? We've touched on it so many times already this morning, and it's going to be one of the focal points of the film festival. What is it about us?
We have amazing talent that is so humble. Right at the end of the day, that's how we're grown up here. So we want to shine that. So there's something in the water here. Maybe it's I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the food or something, and it's just the environment, but we work so hard here, and at the end of the day, we make amazing stories. There's so many amazing stories here coming out of Minnesota, and a lot of our actors and directors and producers leave here because there isn't the infrastructure built, so hopefully we'll change that. But we wanted to shine a light on that, so there's something amazing here.
Yeah, you wouldn't think of it.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
But we do have a great history.
We do.
Real quick, because we're running out of time, but you just mentioned infrastructure. What needs to happen to change the infrastructure to get more people to stay here?
We need to have first funding in place. So obviously the state this year passed the rebate program, which was amazing. So hopefully that's a kickstart. Obviously you mentioned all those films that have premiered, that have been made here in the past in the 90s. And at the end of the day, we want to bring that energy back. So the more funding you put into it, the more people we can employ, at the end of the day. So hopefully with this new legislation passed, we can get more films to be made here, more episodics to be made here. And at the end of the day, we want to showcase as much of it possible at the Twin Cities Film Fest.
Just like in Atlanta. Hey, we could do it here too.
We can, and I think, we got Tyler Perry here somewhere. We just don't know who that person is.
We just don't know who it is. They haven't been discovered.
Absolutely.
I like it. Jaden, thanks so much for joining us this morning, and have fun at your World Series.
I always do, and go Twins. I know next year is our year.
Yes.
I know it.
Yes, we were looking good this year. That's the hope that we build on, guys.
That's the hope that
Stay
we're
positive.
building on. Stay positive.
Yes.
You can find more details for the film festival if you go to TwinCitiesFilmFest.org. But thanks again for joining us this morning.
Thank you.